On the morning of June 12, 2026, the NASDAQ building in New York became the epicenter of a historic financial shift. As the opening bell rang, a single second of trading officially made Elon Musk the world's first trillionaire. To process that number, you have to look at it through the lens of time. If you spent $1 million every single day, it would take you more than 2,700 years to burn through $1 trillion. That personal fortune now exceeds the annual gross domestic product of most sovereign nations on Earth. In the headlines, this milestone looks like the crowning achievement of a business genius, but the mechanics behind this net worth suggest a reality built on a very different set of rules. The financials behind SpaceX tell a story of heavy losses. In 2025, the company recorded a $5 billion deficit. In just the first 3 months of 2026, it lost another $4.28 billion. Yet, while the company burns through billions in cash, its market valuation has somehow climbed to an astronomical $2.2 trillion. This fundamental disconnect between financial performance and market price raises a critical question. How did a business failing to turn a profit meant the world's most expensive individual? Billionaires rarely have large sums of cash sitting in a bank account. In Musk's case, he claims to hold a mere 0.1% of his wealth in actual liquid assets. The rest of the money stays locked in the buy, borrow, die strategy. First, billionaires hoard their company shares and refuse to sell them. Since a tax is only triggered during a sale, this paper wealth continues to grow without ever being touched by capital gains taxes. To fund their lifestyles or buy other companies, they move to the borrow phase. They use those untaxed shares as collateral for massive, low-interest bank loans. This provides them with tax-free cash for everything from personal expenses to the purchase of Twitter. Finally, the die phase allows this wealth to pass to heirs with the cost basis reset, often allowing the entire fortune to bypass the taxes that hit every other working citizen. This cycle created a massive disparity. While average workers pay 20 to 30% in income tax, Musk's effective tax rate on his wealth growth between 2014 and 2018 was just 3.2%. This strategy turns the public tax system into a secondary consideration, while the billionaire extracts low-cost capital from the banks. Without profits to support these valuations, the market relies on the castles in the air theory. This suggests that stock prices are driven by psychological hype and futuristic dreams, rather than business fundamentals. The Hyperloop was marketed in 2013 as a 600-mile-per-hour transportation revolution, but by 2023, the project was quietly wound up without delivering a viable product. This strategy turns the public tax system into a secondary consideration, while the billionaire extracts low-cost capital from the banks. Without profits to support these valuations, the market relies on the castles in the air theory. This suggests that stock prices are driven by psychological hype and futuristic dreams, rather than business fundamentals. The Hyperloop was marketed in 2013 as a 600-mile-per-hour transportation revolution, but by 2023, the project was quietly wound up without delivering a viable product. The list of unfulfilled promises is long. Fully autonomous Teslas by 2018, 1 million robotaxis, and self-sustaining colonies on Mars. This constant stream of hype creates a valuation gap. Independent research firms like Morningstar value SpaceX at only 35 to 40% of its current market price. By convincing the market to buy into sci-fi narratives instead of actual revenue, the companies function more like a financial cult than a traditional business. The ultimate support for this valuation came through political intervention. In the 2024 election, Musk donated $290 million to the Trump campaign. Immediately after the election, 40 active federal investigations into Musk and his various companies were dropped. Allies were placed in critical regulatory roles, such as Brendan Carr at the FCC. This gave Musk's companies unprecedented control over low Earth orbit satellites. This influence extended to the stock exchange itself. NASDAQ was pressured to introduce a new fast entry rule that rushed the SpaceX IPO in just 15 days, bypassing months of standard scrutiny. 2 days before the IPO, the SEC issued a waiver that excused brokers from keeping customer money in safe, separate accounts. This decision put $70 billion of everyday retirement funds directly at risk. These strategic political maneuvers engineered a path to $1 trillion valuation that bypassed standard market hurdles and shifted the ultimate financial risk onto the public. This empire does not rest on a self-sustaining business model. Instead, it relies on the continued protection of a specific political administration. If the political winds shift and these regulatory favors evaporate, the lack of fundamentals would be exposed. The entire net worth could collapse overnight. Without lobbying and hype to hold it up, the first trillionaire title is just an inflated data point, vulnerable to the first sign of a market correction. While this abstract wealth is hoarded, real-world issues go unfunded. The UN estimates just $40 billion could eliminate world hunger by 2030. When the UN presented a roadmap to save 42 million people for just $6.6 billion, the proposal was completely ignored. Protecting your own financial future means looking past cults of personality and manufactured hype. Lasting economic progress requires real products and strong fundamentals. Manufactured wealth simply extracts value from the world and leaves the rest of society to pay the bill.